I have really important information that I want to bring to you that the mainstream media will not talk about because they will not dare connect the dots of how the war on terror is a total hoax because they don't want to stop the hand that feeds them, and that's the military industrial complex that wants to continue the war on terror for the next 100 years. Now, recently I attended an event with Congressman Walter Jones, and he connected a lot of important dots. Just to bring you up to speed, there's the 20th hijacker, Zacchaeus Moussaoui. He was caught before 9/11. He has been convicted by the U.S. government for plotting the September 11th 9/11 attacks. A few months ago in October, he gave sworn testimony. He gave an affidavit telling people how Saudi Arabia was responsible for financing the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Among them, Prince Turk Al Faisal, then the Saudi intelligence chief, Prince Bandar bin Sultan, the longtime Saudi Arabia ambassador to the United States, and Prince Al Wahid bin Tali, a prominent billionaire investor with many important investments in the United States. Now, Zacchaeus Moussaoui, when he came out, the 20th hijacker in jail, when he came out with his sworn testimony, of course, the U.S. government and Saudi Arabian government came out and quickly said that he is deranged. He is mentally incompetent. He is crazy, and 9/11, of course, was properly investigated, so we cannot take his claims as credible in any way, shape, or form. He is pointing the fingers directly at the Saudi government being responsible for the 9/11 attacks. And then we have the joint inquiry into intelligence activities before and after the terrorist attacks of September 2001, and a report that was issued. The report has been classified by George Bush. George Bush classified it because he said we need this for national security. Congressmen were able to read this. One of the congressmen that read this report that has been classified is Walter Jones. After he read it, he said it is not a threat to national security, and he wants it declassified. He wants this very important report available to the public because it is not a threat to national security, but it will help us understand what really happened behind the 9/11 attacks. Family members have gone around Congressman Walter Jones and are also calling for this very important document to be released. Barack Obama, when he came down to Ground Zero for the 9/11 anniversary, looked family members in the eyes, shook their hands, and promised that he was going to declassify this report. He lied, and he has not done so, which brings me to a recent event that I was at with Congressman Walter Jones, and he was asked this very important question about the 20th hijacker's claims.
In the 9/11 suit, he named three top Saudis.
He named three top Saudis.
Including Al Walid bin Talal, who's huge. I think he's the biggest foreign investor in the United States.
The biggest foreign investor in the United States.
Al-Qaeda. Do you find these charges credible?
Do you find this charges credible?
I'm going to answer you this way. I would say that what he swore to, I think had a lot of credibility. That's about the only way I can answer you because of some things that I know from my reading. I would say that some comments that he made, statements he made, I'd say he made some very credible allegations.
He made very credible allegations. We have Congressman Walter Jones confirming the fact that the 20th hijacker, who's pointing the finger at Saudi Arabia financing 9/11, is credible, that he is right in his claims. He confirmed the fact that our greatest ally in the region financed the 9/11 terrorist attacks. We talked to Congressman Walter Jones afterwards, and we talked to him, and he gave us great details of what we could do to help pass his resolution, what we as individuals could do to get this report out there to prove how the whole war on terror is a hoax. And of course, when it comes to 9/11, we know not only that there was foreknowledge, but there was U.S. intelligence, Israeli intelligence, and Saudi Arabian intelligence and financing and funding going into the 9/11 attacks. We talked to whistleblowers. We talked to people within the United States government, family members, rescue workers, survivors of the 9/11 attacks, and even confronted the politicians who were on duty on that day about their lies and manipulations of this huge, grandiose event that started the war on terror, and that's going to continue for the next 100 years. This is incredibly important to get out there and expose because it doesn't just stop with 9/11. 9/11 was the starting point of this whole false flag terrorism. We know that for a very fact. That's why they're lying. That's why they're covering up. That's why all the evidence is finally coming into just a full circle. There's no denying it. And when you come to the greater realization, as we've been exposing on this YouTube channel, that Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey, Israel, the United States, and Jordan have been financing ISIS, you see history repeating itself. You see our allies and the United States financing these terrorists that we are supposed to be fighting. And that's why they're getting rid of our civil liberties. That's why they're spending all this money on this war on terror. It's power, money, and control. That's exactly what they're after, and they're not going to stop until we expose it for what it really is. And the best way to do that is to get this 9/11 resolution declassified. We could do this together. Watch the video. It's going to be in the description below, but we need to end this war on terror. You're not hearing this news anywhere else but real independent media that's, of course, being censored by YouTube. We are being censored by YouTube for telling you these very important messages, and that's why we set up other alternatives where you could go on wearechange.org and participate and actually find out what's going on behind the filters of us being censored. Check out this article. It's also going to be in the description below to learn about the oppression that we are facing ourselves with our whole news organization being in danger. And that's why we have alternatives to provide you on wearechange.org, which you need to check out. All these sources are going to be in the link below. Don't forget to check them out. Let's end this war on terror. It starts with 9/11. It starts with you. Thank you again so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or insightful, don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. We're going to have a lot more breaking news, connecting the dots to very important information coming your way here on youtube.com/wearechange.